BEERUN, beer run. BEERUN, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. BEERUN, beer run.
Hey guys. Tuesday. And today we are looking at Wild Blue Premium Blueberry Lager. This was sent to me by my friend Rich. Rich is the owner of Pitbull Tactical. Told you that yesterday. Now, I'm just going to start by saying that I'm sure this is going to fall somewhat more into the category of like a wine cooler. But what fascinates me is I know Rich is kind of a craft beer head himself, and he was going down the list of some of his favorite things, and I was like, and then he goes, and there's this stuff called Wild Blue. It's like a high alcohol content blueberry lager. And I was like, So, here it is. So, we're going to give it a try. I don't want to say that there's just one thing that Rich really likes about it, but he did seem to go on and on about the 8% by volume. So, but before I do that, as according to Hasman and Chuck, we're going to probably have to go over to Beer Advocate and find out what everybody else thinks so that I know what to think. But since how I can't read, I'll have to have Christine come down here and tell me what Beer Advocate says about Wild Blue. Got this itch. But before we do that, dude, Ed, USAF Ed, and you guys that also interact with me over at Facebook. You guys know that Ed is very interactive. Ed is a very good guy. Ed has squeezed right in and become just as distasteful as the rest of you lovable people. And I always look forward to the interaction and the bantering. And of course, me and Ed, traded phone numbers. So the text messaging back and forth is, cracks me up. Well, last week he wanted to know how to get a hold of my FFL. And today I got a call from said FFL, Fisherman's Corner, and told me that I had an item to go pick up. The Ruger SR 1911 Commander. Ed, as you can already see, I've made a small modification to it already. There was absolutely nothing wrong. It looked absolutely incredible with the stock Ruger grips, but just like my Kimber, I'm not overly a wood grip guy, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with my Kimber grips. Slather them in ballast oil, soak them in a tray, and or pick a Ziploc baggie, fill it completely up with ballast oil, and zipper them closed, and save them for down the road. And if you guys follow Ed, he this in his latest video showing this pistol, he had these kind of sick looking Punisher grips on there, and yeah, as you can see, I'm not using those either because I intend on carrying this, and these VZs are awesome grips. I just haven't had a home for them because as you guys know, Ms. Balmy bought me the Celtic grips that are on the Kimber, and I guess they're pretty much going to be there forever for serious sentimental reasons. So these VZs have been waiting for a home. Actually, these VZs have been on that 1911 knife that Howard from the bunker, actually I won a contest that he had, and I used my winnings to get that. No, take that back. He surprised me when Rich, Tadpole, went to go visit him. He gave Tadpole that knife because he knew that Rich was going to be coming here for the shoot that year, and Howard surprised me with that knife, and that's where these have been. But I think they look a lot better on here. He's got the Wilson Magwell sent along the two stainless steel Ruger mags, and a Kim Pro TAC. I highly recommend these magazines, and I've modified the magazine already with some ammunition, and now the and the very full ammunition. And now the most important feature would be loading it. So there it is. Ed, you're crazy, man. You're absolutely crazy. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to carry it. I love the 1911. Actually, it's kind of funny because this is a first of two things. I have never had a commander size. I've had the full size 1911s and the ultra size 1911, and this is also a because all I've ever had was Kimbers. This is the first one that is a traditional style with the built-in extractor. I've never owned a 1911. I know people gave Kimber shit about that because they said it wasn't a real 1911 because it had a tactical extractor. Well, I've never had a fail, and my my Raptor has been going for what is it now, 18 years. I believe I got that when Samantha was born. Unlike the Kimbers, also they also have the basically it looks like a full length as far as the barrel bushing and stuff goes. So yeah, I pretty much wanted to go shoot the fire out of this already today, but we'll get out as soon as we can. And I was really surprised. It got the kiss of approval by multiple people. First of all, Ray has this same gun, and Pete over at the Armory channel tells me that this is the 1911 that Double Action rents, and he says they have never had any problems other than breaking the front sight off of them. Evidently, Ruger has somewhat of an issue. Pete actually said to call Ruger and tell him it was broken and get another one, so when it happens, I have one. So I don't know if it's that common or not, but it sounds like it's just a workhorse. And I tell you, it has a fantastic trigger. I would show you now, but we don't want to have a cave pop. So, Ed, man, thanks. Hopefully sometime you'll be able to get up here and we'll go shooting. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to try this. Let's see what way direction is this supposed to be. Like that. Rich. There's the other side. He could be laughing his ass off. Oh yeah, Welch's grape juice. Well, it has good carbonation, just like a can of grape pop would. I'll give it that it it smells like natural blueberries. It does not have an artificial smell to it whatsoever. And carbonation is gone, just like a can of grape pop. Rich is gonna watch this and be like, "You son of a bitch! I send you a 6-pack." I have not tried this yet. I was really tempted to. We've got. We could have a liver damage Tuesday, you know, and finish this off tonight. 6 8%ers. Okay, well, cheers, guys. Here we go. Well, I am not going to categorize this in the E scale in the beer category because, like I thought, this has a lot more of the presence of like a wine cooler. And Rich, you are absolutely right when you say that 8% is hidden. As a matter of fact, any of you guys that have had Reds, the apple, I bet you could serve that to someone who doesn't like alcohol beverages, and they probably wouldn't know that was in there. This one, I'm not quite sure that it's so well hidden that you wouldn't know there's alcohol in here, but I don't think you'd ever guess that it was 8% by volume. I realize that they call it a lager, but there's not, at this point, there's not really much left in the game of what we'd call, you know, beer. It doesn't quite have the sweetness that a true like wine cooler would have. I mean, it's there. This would be a curious thing, though. JR10. Are you able to get a hold of something like this? Because I know you are a connoisseur of fine alcohol. I mean, he's been brewing his own lately and putting up videos on it. And it's truly fascinating because that hasn't messed around at all with the equipment being used and lowering the temperature when it's. See, I've always thought about trying it, but I just don't know if when I want a beer, I want to be able to like run down to the liquor store and get something, and not have to sit and watch the little bubbly thingy at the top going, just another week and you're mine. It just doesn't work like that. So it'd be interesting to know what you thought of something like this, because it has a little bit of an edginess right away. Travis? Yeah, Travis. A little bit of an edginess kind of right away. That's about the only hint of the alcohol. And then behind that is a real natural blueberry flavor. And that's it. I mean, there's not a lot of complexity in here. I mean, I'm sure if I went over to Beer Advocate, I could probably, find other people's thoughts and evidently, just read it word for word and not, formulate an opinion on my own. But where would this come in? This would be another thing I'd honestly say on a, nice and cold after mowing the lawn, or, sometimes it's just nice to switch to something little on the sweet side, like me. It almost has a wine like that acidity, kind of a charge to it right in the middle. I really haven't done a lot of reviews on something. Like I said, again, calling it a lager. If you want my personal opinion, if they're gonna call it a lager and it has to be thrown in the beer category, I would have to say it's, you know, like a 2 or a 3 if it fell on the E scale being rated as beer. Which, fine, we'll call it I'll call it a 3. On the E scale, I'm giving it a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 because they're calling it a lager. Would I get this again? Yeah, I would actually get this again, but I wouldn't buy this when I was really wanting to sit down with a fine craft beer, something hoppy or dark, you know, like Rich. I know that for a fact that Rich likes dark beers, like stuff like Guinness. You know, I'm sure if he likes, oh, it's got carbonation in it, has something like that, you know, you'd probably, you know, love some of these higher end imperial stouts and stuff like that. You know, back to would I get it again, or would I, if I saw this, would I pick it up? Yeah, I probably would, because it has a little bit of a sweetness. It's a little change from the norm when it comes to a beer, and it has 8% by volume. So if you want to have a couple of sweet ones and get ripped, this is going to help you get there faster. So if I was putting this more like in a category of a heavy hitting like wine cooler, I'd probably, you know, pick it up more. But since I don't have an E scale for something like that, I wouldn't even have a guess on where to start with something like this. But if it has to fall on the E scale, I'll stick with it being a 3 because they're calling it a beer. Now, is it something refreshing and a change of pace and it has good flavor? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't taste artificial. Heck yeah. And since there's 5 of them left, you know, you guys like stick around. 35 minutes from now, we'll be going Yahoo and firing the 1911 off in the man cave. Few of you know how well that goes over. What? No. What? No. When possibly, you know, discharge a firearm in the house. That would be silly. Travis is going, that's funny, I remember being lookout. If anyone sees Christine coming, let me know. You know, you can do a lot to muffle the sound of a bullet, but you really can't get around the smell, though, can you? Wasn't thinking about that. What should we look at? Is this thing frickin' sexy or what? What should we look at next? Got some stuff here from Steve? Steve! I want to address this with you. I take shit no matter what. Steve's like, you know, we haven't seen the Dick bottle openers used lately. Did I not send you a good enough gift? Okay, so I used the Dick bottle opener. Then it appears on Facebook for days. There's pictures of Neil with the penis in his face. There's pictures of me with the penis in my face. There's pictures of both of us holding the penis. The penis, the penis, the penis. Which way do you want it? You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Yeah, the Rangers are playing. I know they were up by 1, but sounds like things may have changed. Yep, evidently, because I just heard her say, "Yep, in any minute Pete's gonna text me." Can you hear that? I kind of want to do what Pete's wife did. One of these times it'd be nice just to like set the GoPro up and hide it. You know, stick it inside of a teddy bear or something. The hockey cam for when, yeah, she's the dog. The dog freaks out. See, I don't know if anybody else has a dog like this, because I've never had a dog like this. Shelby, if you raise your voice around her, she becomes a counselor. There's obviously something wrong with you, and she can fix it. So the other night we're watching hockey, and I'm yelling at the TV, she's yelling at the TV, the dog doesn't know which one of us to comfort. She gives me a lick on the arm and runs over and basically climbs up on top of Chris's face, and she's like right there wanting to help out. So she's somewhere between reincarnated from a counselor, and we have a couple of things. The GoPro is one of them. If you guys have a GoPro, when you fire it up and shut it down, it makes a series of beeps, which is almost the identical sound to the deep fryer that we have. And the dog starts to shake, and it looked like you have her hooked to an electrical field or something. And I always joke that she's reincarnated from a failed bomb technician. So yeah, it's like hockey season is terrible on that animal. Back to trying to decide what we should look at next. It's a Wednesday, and oh, guess what? Just because I'm thinking about it, you know, heck with everybody. We review something that I have, and it got put off during a vote, just to show that it doesn't matter which one I pick, because you're just going to do that one the next day anyway. It's been weeks or more. Let's look at X hops. This is another one from Toppling Goliath. Their Hop Patrol. Had this one. Of course, this was when Johnny was here, which, as a side note, Johnny's going to be back in town, and so that means I'm going to have a brew review buddy, probably for Friday. I told him we should do 10 in a row. He didn't quite like that idea, and I said, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we do 5, and then a shot of the 130 proof Bookers, and we'll see how that goes. And he said, well, in that case, I'll probably be just sleeping right here on the floor and not back at the hotel. So Johnny Watson is going to be here on Friday. I thought this had an alcohol percentage on it. Like I said, this is one of the ones I had when Johnny was here, and I believe of the 2 from Toppling Goliath, this one was the one that we both liked more. So that reminds me that I'm going to need to go to the Keyport and find something good and tasty for when Johnny's here. And I'm sure he'll be doing the same. And I see that, and I can imagine that if her shirt could talk, you would hear Billy Joel's Pressure playing in the background. Pressure. Okay. I am going to probably go watch the hockey game and have a few more of these. I really want to thank Rich at Pitbull Tactical. If you're looking for one of the best possible holsters that you can get, look at Pitbull. I mean, you know, over here, of course, it's usually alcohol induced, so it's like, sodium pentothal, so I'm more likely to be honest. Pitbull Tactical. I've had people say, oh, but they're expensive. Well, you also got to keep something in mind. Look, one sitting right here for a Springfield XDM 45. Something else I wish I would have done, Rich, is had you talk me into the full sweat shield. Some reason I thought it would be like a pinch point, but you know what? The gun's always there. So from this point on, they all should have a sweat shield. But I get people saying, oh, but they're kind of expensive. Well, first of all, these holsters are inside the waistband or outside the waistband. That's the way they come. You can convert them over all you want. They've got so many different possible scenarios for if you want to adjust the cant yourself. If you know, like me, I order everything with 15 degrees front. But okay, so the Pitbull infomercial. Yeah, what's the score?
1-1.
Yeah.
I freaking hate the Penguins.
Did you hear from Pete yet?
No.
Oh.
But if he does text me, I'm gonna personally go down there and kick his ass.
Okay.
I'm so mad.
I couldn't tell from here that it was actually 1-1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear me swearing?
Just a little.
Well, you know, it's hockey season. What can I tell you?
Yeah. How's the dog?
Oh, I had to put her outside.
Put her outside. Okay. So thank you, Rich, for letting me try those. Honestly, craft beer, they're not tasty with a lot of alcohol. They are. So that's I can see what you actually like about them. But guys, seriously, you're looking for a state-of-the-art holster. I've also had comments like, "Ooh, you know, you got all the little pointy stuff." Yeah, well, it's one of them. I think this actually is the most comfortable holster I have. I've actually never tried them outside the waistband because when I carry, I prefer inside the waistband. So, yeah. Now I kind of wish I had one for 1911. It looks somewhat like that. You know, people always say the 1911 is so big for carry. The 1911 is evidently smaller than an XDM. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Take a look at the X hops. And then we just got one more day to get through, and then Johnny will be here on Friday. Looking forward to it. We'll start off the day with a couple of shots of the Bookers. Come down here, turn the camera on, and you'll just see our feet in the air. It's kind of like being at Heffy's house. Okay, I think about at this point I'm gonna go give Ed a call. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow.